Well, I've already talked about the worst adult animation of 2020, so now it's time to flip to the other side of the spectrum and talk about the best adult animation of 2020. I have 4 TV shows picked out that I'll be listing from worst best to best best, I guess is the best way to put that, but I think all 4 of these shows are fantastic and had fantastic seasons in 2020, and I can't wait to talk about them. But keep in mind that this is just my opinion, and if for whatever reason you hate one of the shows that I put on my best of 2020 list, there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with me. It just means we enjoy different things, and I encourage you to put down in the comments below your favorite adult animated shows of 2020. With all that out of the way, let's get into number 4. Solar Opposites. I was really surprised with this show. Its main story of these aliens crash landing on Earth and just trying to be human, it's pretty basic, but its execution with Justin Roiland and Mike McMahon is fantastic. I really have to applaud them. They found a way to make this kind of simple concept interesting and action-packed at times, and pretty dang funny from time to time too. But what really impressed me about this show was its B-plot of the 2 kids in the alien family, I guess, this alien group, gathering up shrunken down people for this terrarium type thing, and it unfolding into this, I guess, post-apocalyptic type thing. It's really hard to describe without seeing it, but it's super interesting and really fun to watch. It was above and beyond, in my opinion. It really made this show stand out because from time to time it kind of fell back on just the gore and classic adult humor kind of thing that adult animated shows run into a lot of the time. But with that B plot happening at the same time, it really took this show to another level, and I really hope they can do more of the same in the second season, if not improve even further on this concept of having a really interesting B plot that's almost like an actual dramatic TV show, and then the over top of it is this really goofy sitcom-y type show. It's just so interesting and so fun to watch. I really enjoyed this one. F is for Family Season 4. This show continues to impress me. For real, I was not expecting this show to have such an interesting and engaging story, such well-developed characters. It just doesn't really seem like the kind of show that would have that. Being made by Bill Burr, a fantastic comedian, I thought it was just going to be a satire about the 70s, cracking jokes about it, and that's kind of that. But there is an actual story here, and it's really interesting. You want to see how things turn out for Frank Reynolds and his family, and Frank Reynolds is the center of attention in this show, and Bill Burr's voice acting, everyone's voice acting in this show is just fantastic. I honestly can't praise this 4th season enough. I thought that the only thing holding it back was really just some jokes that didn't land too well, and that just comes from the kind of comedy that they're going for, some gross out humor, some fat jokes that are overused, that sort of thing that I'm just not into that much. But I really have to say, this show keeps getting better with every single season, and with the 5th and final season coming out in 2021, I'm really excited to see how they cap things off. The Midnight Gospel. Who would have thought that 2 of my picks for the best adult animated shows would also feature 2 stand-up comedians that I really enjoy. Duncan Trussell is the creator of this show, and if you don't know who he is a hilarious stand-up comedian. He has an awesome podcast, and that's kind of where this show comes from. It comes from his podcast, hence Spacecast. I love this show so much, and I know it's really alienating for some people with the kind of hippie existential talk that goes on in it. Some people can't get behind that, and some people think the visuals are just way too much for a show that's just kind of talking, but that's what I love about it. I love that they're talking about these crazy topics, and at the same time you have all these crazy things to look at. It's not a show you have to be stoned for. You can be sober and watch it, which is what I did for my first viewing of this show, and it was just as good as, you know, a viewing with, not saying that I did this, but, you know, a viewing with, like, marijuana or something. I didn't do that. YouTube'd get mad if I did that. You don't have to do that. Don't do that, kids. But this show is fantastic. I really love it. It's not really about an overarching story too much. It's more about just these conversations and the incredible animation and just letting them play out. There is kind of an overarching story, but it's definitely second to the conversation and the animation. In terms of animation, I'd say this is the best animated show of 2020, meaning that the animation is the best, but as an overall product, it's second place to only one. And if you've been on my channel for some time, it's almost a guarantee what the number one is gonna be. BoJack Horseman Season 6. Holy crap, I cannot believe how much quality is shoved into this show with every episode. It seems like with every episode they find a new way to cram just a little bit more quality in, to the point where every single episode is better than the one before it. It's incredible. There's only one episode that I would say didn't do that, and that's the very last episode of BoJack Horseman. And that's just because the episode before it, The View from Halfway Down, was so incredible that there's no topping it. That is one of the best TV show episodes I've ever seen in my entire life, let alone adult animation. And I know this show technically aired its first half in 2019 and second half in 2020. I'm gonna count it because any chance to praise this, I'll take it. It really is incredible. If you have not seen BoJack Horseman, you are doing yourself a disservice. It is one of the, if not the greatest adult animated show of all time, in my opinion. It blows me away every time I watch it. I cannot believe the quality of this show, the quality of the storytelling, the quality of the voice acting, the quality of the comedy. It's just so fantastic. I love this show so much, and it's done for its run right now, so there's a good chance you guys won't hear me talking about it for a good long while until I finally get around to recording my big BoJack Horseman video that'll cover just about everything I like about the show. So stay tuned for that, I guess, when I finally get that thing pieced together. But with that being said, that's the best animation of 2020 in my opinion. BoJack Horseman takes the cake because I love BoJack Horseman. That's about that sums up this video, I suppose. So thank you all very much for watching. Remember to put down in the comments below your favorite adult animated shows of 2020, your favorite animated shows, your favorite movies, whatever. I read every single comment on this channel, so don't be shy. Yours will not be overlooked. And I will see you all next time, or I guess in this case, next year. Yeah, get it? The next video is going to come out in 2021. Get it? Get it? Next year. Okay, goodbye.